Hello and welcome back to everybody to the TallTales Podcast. Why don't you grab yourself an ice lolly, sit outside in the garden and enjoy the sunshine for today's episodes. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Becky.
And I'm Angus, and today we've kind of got a little bit of a different episode for you, a little bit different format, because we were talking last night about the podcast and how it's going, and we sort of thought maybe you're listening to this and thinking, who are these people? Like, I'm enjoying listening to them, obviously, because, well, not to particular home, we're pretty good. But I'm listening to them, but who are they? I know they're called Angus, they're called Becky, but it's just, who are these two co-hosts of the TallTales Podcast? It's like, who are? So
get to know us on a personal level.
Get to know us as creators and just as people.
Innovators.
Exactly. As bread makers do. So we decided to. So for the next two episodes, we're going to be doing. We're going to do back-to-back episodes about one about me. Mm-hmm. Well, one about you, then one about me.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk. So today, our guest is Becky Leach.
Rebecca, if you want to be formal about it.
It's Rebecca Leach, and we're going to be talking to her about being a designer, being an innovator in her field, being a digital designer, a bread maker, a co-host of a podcast. I mean, what can't she do? She's a Becky of all trades. I mean, there you go.
It always circles around to that.
It always circles. It's just it's a good little callback to
it is.
Vic. So, how are you two? How's it feel to be an actual guest on the podcast?
You know what? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it because I feel like if I thought about it too much, I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
But it feels weird being the other side of the table. You know,
we're not. We are.
Well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird being on sort of the interviewee end.
It is. It's pressure.
Yeah.
You know, it's But I think I'll be alright. I'd like to think so. I've had coffee.
You've had a shot of coffee.
We're all ready and raring to go.
We're
high on life.
We're a bit sort of disjointed because when we were at the coffee shop.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry, I got to bring it up.
Yeah, necessary.
It's necessary. I'm sorry, but Becky got her coffee. She said, "Cheers, love you, have a nice day."
That's so embarrassing.
And we walked away, and me and Tom looked at her, being like, "What?" And then she looked at us like, "Yeah, what's up?" And we were just like, did you just hear what you just said? She said, "No, what did I say?" I said, "Cheers, have a nice day."
Yeah, that's what I said. I said they gaslighted me.
She said, "Cheers, I love you." Yeah.
To the poor barista man. And it's like when you're in school, like we were saying it's like saying love you to the teacher or just calling the teacher.
Mum.
Thanks, mum. Cheers, mum. Love you. Like, I'm so embarrassed. Never can't go back there again.
I think I'm sure it brightened up his day, and it definitely brightened up ours. So.
Oh yeah. Now you may stop taking the mix. So.
Sorry. Yeah. We'll stop.
No, it's all right.
Stop,
but if Coffee Man is out there, I apologise.
I love you. Have a nice day.
I love you. Have a nice day. And you make a banging iced coffee, so I can't complain. It is. I'm enjoying it.
Wow. So you think it's as good as my water?
No, it can't be as good as your water.
H2O.
H2O in the classic repping the Hallam merch.
My merch.
My merch.
So obviously, as
a creator,
what we normally do is we have an icebreaker question with our guests. So we get them on, we sort of give them a question to sort of set them at ease, set everyone at ease, and to basically introduce you guys to them as a person. So we're still been doing it this week. So the question is to you, Becky.
Yeah.
If you could go on a holiday.
Yeah.
What holiday would you go on? Ooh. Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you take with you? Where would you go, basically? What's your perfect ideal holiday?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. This is a hard one because I love a holiday. I love the sun, but it's like, do I go somewhere sunny or do I go somewhere different?
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see the Northern Lights.
That'd be a nice one.
Like, the Northern Lights would be like perfect, I think, or just somewhere like island hopping in the Caribbean. You know,
let's all go to different places, like on a cruise or just sort of.
No, just like
swimming.
I see, or like backpacking. Actually, no.
Across the Caribbean.
Yeah. Backpacking across the Caribbean. Yeah, no. I don't know. I think something like that. Like, I always like the idea of backpacking, but people say it's cheap, but it can eventually like tot up, can't it?
It can, yeah.
Like,
depends how long you go.
getting
for.
a plane and stuff and like traveling everywhere.
Well, it's like when you go to hostels. So
Oh,
it
that's
wouldn't be
true.
planes. It would literally just be like coaches, buses, cheapest of cheap, noodles.
I'd like to do.
What?
Would you just say noodles under your breath?
Because I'm thinking of everything
Noodles.
cheap. You're like not going to go to a 5-star restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's
Okay.
reasoning behind that.
I have two different like sides of the spectrum. I'd do that. Go to Thailand. I'd go to the wild rainforests. The wild.
The rainforest.
Um.
It's the Amazon rainforest in Thailand.
Yeah. That's not in Thailand, is it?
No,
No.
it's not.
And then where else would I go? Thailand. Indonesia is a continent.
It's not.
It's definitely not.
It's not, is it a place?
But it's not. It's a country.
Oh my days. Okay. I'd do that. I'd do South Asia, I think. That's one extreme. And then the other side, I'd go island hopping in the
Stay at home.
Caribbean. Stay at home. I just stay in the flat.
Stay in the flat.
Just stay in Sheffield. No, I think somewhere like the world's your oyster. Though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Great. That's the title of the episode sorted.
The world's your oyster.
It was your oyster.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. mate.
Yeah, no. So something like that would be cute. Nice.
Yeah.
I just want to go sun and relax myself, but I also want to experience a bit of culture.
Oh, that's
Like
true, yeah.
a few years ago, we went on a family holiday to Mexico, and we stayed in like this resort and it was all like gated off and fenced off to kind of like stop crime and stuff and stop people coming in and out.
Stop people getting out.
Stop
On a holiday resort.
Yeah, stop people
Let
getting
me
out.
Please
Well,
let me out.
We had other ideas. We were like, right, we're off. Let's go.
Just go.
Yeah, so we went and it was like, so Mexico, like the big touristy part is Cancun, and then there's loads of like other like little bits, but we stayed in a place called Playa del Carmen, and we one evening, because it's too hot to walk during the day, it's like you're like sweating buckets.
It's like here.
Yeah, basically it's like this British summer weather, and we like walked into this like town. It was probably like a mile and a half, and the culture, like the nightlife was crazy. Like it's like we were like in this resort, and then you like walk outside of it. There's like music playing, like the place comes to life at night.
Yeah.
And it was just like the smells, like just like the heat, like I can't describe it. And it was just amazing. Like it was just like the cultural aspect of it was like so beautiful and so different to like English and British culture. Yeah, it was just like something else, something that you wouldn't necessarily get over here. Like I don't walk onto West Street and I don't hear, you know, all I smell is Aslans and
Yeah.
and I hear like, I don't know, what's a good idea of a song that you could hear on West Street?
Don't Look Back in Anger.
Yeah, Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis, with all these drunkards singing. But yeah, no, so I definitely, something like that, with a bit of culture, but I can also sit and get a really nice tan. Oh, and experience the food as well, like Greece. Greece is lovely. I feel like I'm really drawing out this question, but
No. Go for it as long as you're on. It's your episode. It's your day.
it's my day.
It's your day.
But yeah, something like that would be really cool. I'm gonna throw the question back at you.
Back at me.
Yeah, what would you do?
I think I'd like to go to a place like Cuba.
Cuba.
Like maybe Havana in Cuba. Because again, it's nice and warm, good atmosphere, good culture. It's sort of like this beautiful place with the architecture amazing.
Amazing people.
Amazing.
People
lovely
are so lovely.
Yeah.
Like so welcoming. Obviously, in some places you have to be quite like careful of like crime and stuff and being robbed. But these places that have like built up this rapport, I feel like once you actually visit them, they're not
Built
as
up
bad.
this RuPaul.
That's the word, isn't it?
Rapport.
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 Rapport. Yeah. They like build up this rapport.
Yeah.
That's such a weird word.
It's got T on the end of it.
It's got a T on the
It's
end.
like
of it.
it's spelled like the report.
Reports.
You say it report.
Yeah.
I thought it was Rapol.
Yeah, I've heard that in a
RuPaul.
previous episode,
RuPaul's
actually.
Drag Race.
I didn't want to say anything.
Did you?
I did.
I wasn't corrected by my own co-host.
No.
I think these countries build up this bad rapport,
Yeah.
and when you go there, you're like, what's all the
Report.
badness about?
Yeah. It's sort of a bad sort of like, not an impression, but a sort of stereotype of.
Yeah,
what's
it is a
happened and
stereotype.
what's like.
Yeah, for example, like many years ago, there was that was it a shooting or something on the beach in Turkey
Yeah.
or Tunisia or something,
I think it was
and
Tunisia,
now and now people won't go back to that country.
Yeah.
But the year before, I'd been on a family holiday there, and it was amazing.
Lovely,
Like
yeah.
it was beautiful. Like it was really nice, and it's such a shame that these places build up this rapport.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Everything.
You do everything. So you go
Yeah.
backpacking, island hopping.
I live up in the Caribbean.
Good answer.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Go to some cities in the US of A.
You were survey.
Yeah. Go to see the Northern Lights in the in
RuPaul.
Where can you go see the Northern Lights?
It's in, is it Alaska? No, I think it's Alaska.
Sweden.
But it might also
Norway.
be like the
Norway.
Yeah.
Northern Hemisphere.
It's in the Scandinavia, I think,
Yeah.
as well. So you're a freelance designer.
Yeah.
A freelance digital designer.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather, like, in the future, would you prefer to continue being a freelancer, or would you rather work in sort of in conjunction with a company, so work with people, for people,
Yeah.
as a sort of a digital designer?
I don't know, because I haven't had any actual experience of working for I have, but it was like remote, so it wasn't like in person actual working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean, like working for someone.
Yeah.
I was working for someone, but it's a long story, and that is discussed in Emily Johnson's episode. So if you want to go, is cucumber a fruit? I believe the title
It
is.
is called
So
episode 3.
exactly. If you want to go back and listen, go listen to that, where I discuss what happened to me and Emily on our
What the
placement.
hell
year.
happened?
Yeah. So we did that, but I don't know. I think freelance work's quite cool because you can work for yourself, but it's getting it.
Yeah.
It's
sort of
getting
building
the
up to
work,
that, yeah.
isn't it? So like with working for someone, you have the guaranteed work.
Yeah, because
And I have a placement coming up end of August where I'm going to be working for a company in Sheffield. So I'll be like physical, like hands-on, 5 days a week, 9 to 5. Like, so I'll get the experience then. So maybe I'll get back to you on that one.
yeah,
But
excellent.
I don't know. I think working for a company and being a digital designer would be pretty cool because it's kind of like getting yourself. I think it's hard as a freelancer to get work.
Yeah.
In that sort of area, but we've got some amazing mentors and people at the minute
it's
who are
fantastic.
supporting us to like we've had a whole year of it basically learning how to be a freelance designer.
I think it's fantastic, sort of the area we're in right now.
Yeah.
Because we're in an environment full of creators.
We are.
So like just people around us. One of our people who we know is making sort of like knitting cross stitch kits. One people we know is sort of making
Shout out to Billy Stitch.
Billy Stitch, design blog, who's making sort of a blog and a website and posters.
Yeah.
Running social media about.
And it's taken, for example, I'm sure we'll have him on as a guest and he'll explain, but we it's taken him a year to create the work that he has because he's needed that advice and stuff and to like, you know, and now he's actually selling his posters that he's designed himself through like old classics and different sort of quirky little features like that, like
really
the juicy
interesting.
salif and
Don't know what that
the
means.
red and blue chair.
Don't know what that means. I'm not a designer. I can't.
So yeah, I mean, he's creating brilliant work now. So, and then you've got Sprout creating her.
Sprout. I mean, I was going to mention, but I forgot. But yeah, she's fantastic. She's doing like incredible graphic design work, working on sort of cards for sort of Father's Day, for Mother's Day, different occasions.
Yeah. So if you need a Father's Day card, hit up Sprout.
Hit up Sprout. Go to Sprout. A great vegetable.
A great.
Great great vegetable.
And we know many illustrators as well. I mean, we worked on where did we did the bread and batter.
The bread and we did. I knew it was going to come to this at some point today. Bread and batter, yeah.
Yeah, and we were sat around so many amazing people, and it's great connections. And I found myself doing work through that, and it's good. It's good.
You got some free earrings as well.
I got some free earrings from a lovely, lovely lady who I'm sure we'll have on the podcast one day.
I believe I know her handle if you want me to shout her out.
You can shout her out if you want.
I believe her handle is Broken Bones Boutique on Instagram. Fantastic fantastic jewelry designer.
Yeah.
Just amazing craftsperson.
She was just so lovely to chat to, and she was so bubbly and so warm and so full of energy. And yeah, she was like, "Here, have some earrings," because I complimented on her outfit, and she was like, "Here, have some earrings." I was like, "These are the best earrings ever," and they're great. They're so cool. So yeah, there's so many amazing creators that we know.
Yeah, it was fantastic because we signed up because. Why did we sign up? So we signed up because we sort of thought. I made bread.
Yeah.
Becky makes cakes. She's really good at making cakes as well. So we were sort of like, but we could do it, but also do people think we're just sort of taking the mickey?
Yeah.
And then we were kind of like, well, it doesn't matter because let's just do it and get ourselves out there with this bread and batter sort of venture. And then we did it, and then we sort of both said like, let's just go for it whole.
And we did.
Yeah.
And spoiler, we will be coming back as bread and batter.
Oh, we will, yeah.
In a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so look forward to that.
Look forward to that on, I believe it's the 29th of June. Yeah, if you are listening to us before that date, make sure to get yourself down. Where is it?
Aspect Court, floor 6.
Get yourself down to Aspect Court, floor 6, and we will be reviving bread and batter and making some cake and bread again.
We'll also be, if you come and do see us, we'll be recording a very special episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Where we'll be...
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. We're doing a little episode of the podcast where we talk amongst ourselves, but also if whoever comes over with talk to them about being a creator, if they're a creator.
Yeah.
And we'll just have a very casual, informal conversation during the showcase. And hopefully it'll be a really good time and opportunity for us
for us to meet new people and for us to have open up our network to greater people to have on the podcast, which will be good and make it very interesting. So yeah, no, that would be good. So we've yet to discuss what we're going to be making.
Yeah, we're very much last minute people.
We are, so it'll be a day before job, but that'll be all right, and yeah, it'll be good.
I think it's gonna be a very good idea.
So yeah,
I mean, because we were sort of talking about bread and batter. How did you get into baking? Because I know obviously you worked in hospitality for...
Yeah, I've worked in hospitality for so long. Basically, I'll talk myself through the job list.
Yeah, please.
I started out as a pot washer in a restaurant, and then I did like 2 shifts on pot wash. And she was like, "Come on, up you come, front of house, straight, let's go." And then I lived in a village, and there was like 3 places you could potentially work at the age that I was, and I managed to get myself a job at all 3 of those places.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a serial job person, and everyone knew me from they were like, "You never get a rest." I worked 3 jobs at one point. So like, for example, I started out at this big restaurant, which was on top of the hill. Then you walk down the hill, and then there's like a little cafe. It's literally like a purple shed.
Yeah.
And shout out Lily's Lavender Hut.
Good name.
And that's where there's like a little cafe. It's like a shop and stuff. Did lots of baking there. That's where I basically started it, was there, because you were kind of like, you had to bake the produce. And I also, that's the first pub where I worked at, that's where I learnt to make coffees. I feel like there's always there's like a system.
You learnt to make coffees at a pub, and you learnt to bake in the...
Yeah,
make coffees
so this pub, it had like this massive coffee machine.
Yeah.
Took me years to learn a latte. Shout out Jem if you're listening. She's the one that taught me how to make a proper latte. But it took me years. But yeah, so in this pub, it was like a restaurant as well.
Yeah.
And then they had this like massive grand old coffee machine, and I learned to make coffees there. Proper like barista style made, like it's not, you have to like grind the beans, press them, put them in the machine, froth up your milk to a certain way. Yeah, flat whites, cappuccinos, lattes. The worst ones I didn't like doing was the liqueur coffees, because you had to like whip up the cream.
Liqueur coffees?
Yeah,
what
so,
alcoholic ones? Yeah,
so a liqueur coffee is just, you put a sugar cube in the bottom of a tall glass, and then you put your you put your liqueur over the top of it. So it could be like Cointreau or Bailey's. Bailey's doesn't need a sugar cube, and then you pour the espresso over the top, but you make it like an Americano, and then you pour it in, and then you have to whip up cream, so it's like thick, but not like whipped cream. You have to like get it to a perfect consistency, and then you have to get a spatula in the top of the glass, and you pour the cream over the top, and it sits perfectly on top. And if you've done it correctly, it doesn't split. I could never get it to not split until like my last year of working there.
That's insane. That sounds way too much. How often do people order them?
What, liqueur coffees? Yeah. It'd be evenings. Like, people wouldn't order them during the day. It's very much like a winter thing.
Okay.
But like, you'd have a few people that'd be like, oh, 4 liqueur Irish coffees, and I'm like, oh great, I'll do those then. So yeah, but there was like many sides to that job, and I think I learnt a lot. It makes you more confident. Like, I started working at 14, and that's not very legal, but it was, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was great, and I feel like you learnt so much from it, like going into talking to different people and stuff. But yeah, sorry, baking. But I suppose coffee is like an art as well.
It is, yeah.
I think it is, because there's so many like there's so many different things, and everywhere does their coffee different. Yeah, is what I've learnt from working multitudes of places. So like, some places your lattes will only have 1 shot. Some places there'll be 2. It's all different. So yeah, and anyway, the Purple Shed, Lily's, is where I learnt to bake, and you'd go on the grill, and you'd have like 20 cyclists turn up on a Saturday, and they'd all want bacon rolls, and they'd all want yeah.
It's like a tandem
pack of like 20. Yeah. And like peak summer, it's mad. Like, you're scooping ice cream. Like, it's great. It was such like a busy and fast-paced environment. And then my third job was just pulling pints in a pub.
So was the pub the pub with the espresso?
So there's 2 pubs in the village.
That was the first one?
Yeah.
Your first, okay, because when are you talking about how you learned so much there?
I learnt so much there over like... I worked these jobs for like... Yes. So I worked in that first pub for 6 years, I think. And then I've worked in the Purple Shed for about 5.
Sorry, I just want about it's called the Lavender Hut, and you call it the Purple Shed.
And then the other pub, the Fighting Cocks.
Sorry?
It's called the Fighting Cocks.
Sorry.
Because, do you want to know the history?
Please.
They used to fight
chickens
in the back.
Cockfighting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty actually cool. Really,
it's quite nifty. Yeah, so you used to do cockfighting in the back. And I pulled pints there, but I did that like, because they had a kitchen and they did takeaway food during lockdown. So I worked in the kitchen, and then I just got a job pulling pints. It was great. And I worked in the Purple Shed through the whole of lockdown, so I think that's where my baking's come from, because you're baking every day to like sell.
Really?
It was like takeaway, yeah. So we delivered to elderly people, and it's also like a fresh grocers and meat and stuff. So I worked like 6 days a week.
Wow.
For the whole of lockdown, like from March, like all the way up until I came to uni in the September.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's where my background. That's where I think I first started to bake. My sister's a very keen baker as well.
Which one? Bella.
That's the dog, for anyone who doesn't understand.
Bella's the new dog.
No, my middle sister, the young Melissa. Yeah, she has a keen eye for baking.
Really?
But she just makes a mess.
That. Yeah.
She doesn't clean up after herself. If you're listening, Melissa, clean up after yourself. Yeah. So yeah, it's good though. Good bit of baking. You're a good baker though. You cook bread.
I do my best, but for me it's not sort of. You see people on TikTok really sort of very much like precise. I'm not precise. I use my hands. I literally just go for it.
Yeah, but that's
I put love in
nice.
it.
That's traditional.
Yeah.
That's traditional bread making.
I'm a traditional bread. I'm a lover, not a fighter. So I put my love into the bread. So currently you're a designer.
Yep.
You're working sort of online, workshops sometimes. You're doing being a designer.
Yep.
For you, is that your sort of dream path?
Oh dear, I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know if I have a dream path. I think that's it's a hard question.
It just came out of nowhere, so it's kind of just
a dream path. You know what? Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. I think it's finding in design what I want to do. Yeah. It's like second year I had a really big passion for service design. So it's like being able to find something, but I don't know if I'm still into that. Do you know what I mean? Because I haven't done it for a year.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be finding what it's like in the big wide world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you
still have a love for it in that environment.
Yeah, exactly. But I think with design, there's so many aspects you can go into it. And once you have a degree, you can do more or less anything, apart from probably being a doctor. Because I don't
you need
think
a doctorate for that.
Yeah. So I think something. I don't know. Yeah, I think it will be. I think it will be a long-term passion.
Yeah.
But it's something that you can also do as a side hobby. You know what I mean? You can do all sorts. You can HR, human, like all sorts of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
With design. So I'll see. But for the future, yes.
Yes. You can always be like a philanthropist who goes around wearing a tuxedo and offering people £5 billion.
Ah.
You could do that.
What a good segue.
Well, funny you mentioned that.
If only I had those £5 billion.
Then you had the money.
Then maybe.
Well,
I could.
So obviously, that's not £5 billion.
These sunglasses were £5 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
There's gold in the rim.
This is what I used the first load of money
Crystal
for.
gold. Ah.
If you've not listened to that podcast yet, the very first. Is it the first one?
First episode.
The very first episode.
What's it called? The Designer and the Poet.
The Designer and the Poet. Give it a listen.
Good episode.
It is a good episode.
So obviously, usually we do Becky the Stranger, but last week you had Tom on, which is what the episode's called? Do we even know for the episode?
There were some technical difficulties while trying to upload the episode.
Yeah.
So there is currently no title for the episode yet. Okay. But it was episode number 5.
It's coming out though.
It is. Promise, today.
Today. Well, last week.
Last week.
So last week we asked Tom who his dream collaboration would be.
Yeah.
As he's a musician, he's a performer.
Oh, yeah.
And he sort of said it would be, was it Kendrick?
I think you should wear these.
Thank you.
Of my own posing the question. Ones. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar.
He said Kendrick Lamar.
Did he say Kendrick Lamar? I don't think he did.
No. I know, I look absolutely insane. He said the person who wasn't Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
He said Frank Ocean.
He said, "Hey yo, Frank."
And he wanted to do, was it Yankee Doodle Dandy?
Yeah.
With Frank Ocean.
Yeah, he did.
No, Kendrick Lamar.
He's back.
Was it Kendrick Lamar?
Tom,
yes.
What did you do with your Becky the Stranger question last week?
What did I do with it?
Was it Frank Ocean?
Yeah, the Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Old Lang Syne, stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Who did someone said Kendrick Lamar
we
for something?
did talk about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, it was the if you had an artist to narrate your life or make an album about your life.
Yeah.
Soundtrack. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so obviously for last week's question, Tom said he'd want to do his dream collaboration would be with Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
And they'd make Old Lang Syne together on their guitar. Which
Yeah, that's what I said. Definitely not a joke.
He
for the
said
podcast.
that, and that's what he wants to do if his dream collaboration comes up.
Yeah.
So, and the same question I'm going to pose to you, Becky.
Okay.
Your dream collaboration,
Yeah.
it can be a designer, or it can be a baker, whatever sort of venture you want to go down. Who would your dream collaboration be? It can be with a person or a company, or it can be sort of any different thing.
Oh, a dream collaboration. Eminem.
Ah.
What would you do with Eminem,
Yeah.
Becky? A song?
Rap God.
You'd make Rap God.
Just
Again.
It's the same song.
Yeah. I don't know what my dream collaboration as a designer.
It's up to you. You can be a designer, sort of say about how you'd want to work with a company doing something, or it can be sort of like a different.
I'd like to
whatever you
work
want,
with
actually.
Disney
Disney.
as a set designer.
Oh wow.
That's sick.
That'd be sick.
That's
yeah.
sick. I like that.
Like that.
For like Disney like films, like
Just Disney films,
Star
like anything that
Wars.
Disney produces, yeah. Or like any of the big
Marvel,
film. Marvel, yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean,
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean, blah, blah, blah.
Snow White.
Yeah. Yeah, I think film and set design props are pretty cool. Went to Harry Potter Studios. That was sick.
Good bit.
Like you don't realise how much goes into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's something in it there. Or Apple.
Apple would be a good one.
Working for Apple in California.
Set
If
designer
that's
Apple.
yeah, the set designer of Apple. Yeah, working
Yeah.
for Apple would be sick. Creating new technology. However, I don't understand the technology side. However, I could do the ergonomic side and the anthropometrics and stuff like that because I
Okay.
enjoy that.
Feels like you're saying a lot of words to confuse me. Ergonomics is how it feels in your hands.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
how it feels
yeah, it can
for
be.
you. Like, is the comfort side of the thing.
Yeah, so you know, like the ergonomics. So you have a kettle.
I've got the kettle.
You've got the handle of the kettle.
Yeah.
If that kettle handle had indents in it, that is ergonomics of that
It's more
kettle.
comforting. It's
Comforting
more sort
for the user
easy to
because you can
hold.
put your fingers in it.
of,
Yeah, and I think anthropometrics is size.
yeah.
It's been a long year since I've done technical stuff.
Anthropometrics.
But like I could describe it on a phone. It's like how it feels in your hand and stuff, and like the weight of it. But yeah, I think I'd do like Apple would be sick. Is that what I'd use my 5 billion for?
No,
I'd
this
go
is no money. This is just
This is
dream
no money?
collaboration. Dream collaboration.
I'd go
Sorry.
Stephen Jobs. Is that the owner of Apple?
Isn't he dead?
Yeah, he died on my 10th birthday. Fun fact.
Did he?
Steve Jobs died.
Yeah, on my 10th
His
birthday.
10th birthday.
He's been dead for like since 2011, Becky.
Oh, sorry to you have to hear
He
this.
talks to a new guy. He's called Tim Cook.
Tim Cook. That's
Who's
the
the
guy.
new head of Apple.
I don't believe you. I'm googling it.
Why would I lie about Steve Jobs dying on my 10th
That's such
birthday?
a bizarre fact. Weird flex.
Yeah,
I didn't know Steve Jobs was dead.
5th
Okay.
of October 2011.
Just for everyone to at home, Becky
What?
typed, did Steve Jobs die on Tom's birthday, 10th birthday?
No, I didn't.
She just typed into Google.
I did not.
What? On my 10th
No, I
birthday.
Did
didn't. I
Steve
wrote
Jobs die on
Steve
Tom's 10th
Jobs.
birthday?
What to say date of death?
5th of October 2011.
That's what you get for having no friends and Googling random people online for a long time.
Oh, that's quite sad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. It's
His
alright.
middle name was Paul.
Good for him.
I did not know Steve Jobs was dead.
Steve Paul Bates. Gates.
Who owns Apple now then?
Tim
Tim
Cook.
Cook.
I'm googling that.
Let's Tim Cook.
I think that's a conspiracy theory that Steve Jobs died.
It's what?
Oh. But
What- and why is
he's
that,
dead.
Since we just found out about it.
Yeah. I
What
don't-
conspiracy you just thought up in the last 10 seconds?
That he's still alive. How I
He's got you
swear
there.
they still film like. Is he? This is gonna sound so disrespectful.
Okay.
R.I.P. Steve Jobs. Didn't know, but like, they still film him with stuff, don't they? Like, do they? I swear, or unless I'm
Bill
seeing out.
Gates, you mean?
I need to look what Bill Gates looks like. Bill.
They've made a couple of movies about Steve Jobs.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, one had Ashton
My-
Kutcher, one had Michael Fassbender in it.
Yeah.
my mind is blown. Tim Cook.
It might be old sort of 'Cause it was 2011.
Yeah.
Then it might have still been doing.
I can't believe that.
I mean, it would have been like
That's crazy.
There would have been iPad videos of him. There would have been some iPhone videos of him. but
Yeah.
Nothing since then, obviously.
Online and stuff. Yeah.
I've learnt something new today.
And that's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah.
ladies and
It's all about learning from sad today.
gentlemen.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
What
So
was the
you're-
question again?
What would your dream collaboration be?
Oh, well, I can't say Steve Jobs now, can I?
You could say Tim Cook.
No.
Well, Microsoft.
Doesn't have the same ring for it. Sorry, Tim.
Sorry, Tim.
But it doesn't have the same ring.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Disney and Apple.
Disney,
I'm gonna
Apple.
live on in Steve Jobs' memory.
Thanks, Steve Jobs.
That's really sad.
Yeah. Well, I was going to talk about set design, but I don't really want to now. I want to just sort of curl up with a cup of tea and cry. I mean,
This episode is now in memoriam of
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, who died 12 years ago, almost.
I don't know what to say
I don't
now.
know where to go on with
I don't
this.
really know where to go. Let's take a break and we'll sort of come back around to it. So, Becky.
There was an ad break in there, and Angus
Yeah.
There was a McDonald's advert.
Read Shadow Legends.
It was the Steve Jobs advert for
Oh, mate,
the
drop it.
iPad.
Drop it, alright?
He's dead, alright, Becky.
Move on.
Any money made will go to the Steve Jobs Foundation.
I'm
No
sure
money.
he's got enough money.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
think
that'll
that'll be alright.
I think they'll be right.
Oh,
So, obviously, you talked about set design in your dream collaboration.
yeah.
Is that something that sort of.
I think it's
Done
come
for-
about recently
Hmm.
because we live in a flat of 8 people and we watch a lot of films.
Yeah.
A lot of films.
Yeah, we watched quite a lot of films. in fact.
We've watched all the Bonds. That
Yes,
was my biggest achievement of 2022.
It was.
It's quite sad.
You watched all the Batmans.
Watched all the
Not-
Batmans.
not all of
Started
them.
On another podcast that we used to do.
Yeah. Oh, Frogcast.
Yeah.
Watched all the Batmans. All the Indiana Jones.
Not all the Star Wars, most of the Star Wars.
With my boyfriend, I've just watched all the Marvels.
All of them. Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So I've been encapsulated in the big wide world of movies recently.
Yeah.
And because it's not something I really did as a child, was sit down and watch a movie.
Went outside.
I went outside. I went because I lived in the middle of nowhere. We just didn't have service. We didn't have TVs. We didn't have
But you
aerials.
lived in the middle of nowhere. You didn't live in the 1800s. No
We-
TV.
I used to churn butter for fun.
Yeah. I remember those laundry days. My favourite days were laundry day when I went to the quarry and beat my laundry against my wooden pad box.
Yeah.
The person who I'm with at the minute dating, he calls it the boonies.
Boonies?
Yeah, Kyle calls where I'm from the boonies.
Why is it called the boonies?
Have you watched you've not watched Breaking Bad? Have you watched Breaking Bad, Tom?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the reference. What's the reference to
He
Breaking
likes like Jesse says something about being in the boonies. Like
Oh,
Bad? Is that when
fucking boonies?
right at the start when they go
It's like,
to
just a
find
bunch of
somewhere to cook
cows.
meth? Yeah, the cow house.
Yeah. How do you know that?
Because I watched the first season and the second season and the third season.
Just not the fourth and fifth.
Yeah, actually,
It's
I
in
don't
the
think
later
I've seen
seasons though.
It's not. It's in the first season, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
not.
First episode.
Yeah.
Have I missed that from the first episode then?
If it's where you're talking about where
There's
they're trying
an-
to find somewhere to cook meth.
There's
Yeah.
another episode where he says it as well.
There might be then. Well, maybe he didn't take the first one.
Sorry.
That's all we've got time for today on the TallTales Podcast.
If you're still with us and still listening, we're
I'm
talking
so
about.
sorry for everyone listening.
Yeah, the boonies.
The boonies.
That's what they're called. Apparently, it's called in the middle of nowhere. The boonies. Yeah, but we used to go make dens in the woods.
That's what we used to do.
We'd
as
go
well.
walk around fields. We'd make little dens.
Yeah.
We'd store snacks in our den.
Okay, we didn't do that.
We'd like put money in the den as well. We made a time capsule.
Have you opened it yet?
No, because the person who I made the time capsule with moved house. Shout out Grace
I
Smiley.
thought you were going to say died then. I was like, oh God, not again. Jesus.
I've just looked up the meaning of boonies.
Oh,
Yeah.
An area that is not close to any towns or cities. So makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
US slang.
US slang.
Yeah.
Us slang.
Slang.
Us slang. Yeah.
Slang.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beanies.
Did you make sort of like dens and stuff when you were a kid? Because I imagine you or your place where you
Me
sort of
roaming around
grew.
Market Wheaton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making
There wasn't
dens.
really many den areas. I know
Really?
it sounds like a rural town, but it's just kind of depressing and
Yeah.
like it's kind of like a stuck in the 80s, 90s town
Oh.
more than anything. But there's some rivers and stuff. And there's this little river down the back of Asda that I used to just jump across.
Oh my
with my
god.
mate, because you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm 11 years old.
I can use my legs.
I can jump across this small river, and it was the coolest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And I did that.
Yeah. Think about the movie character.
That was a good memory right now.
Oh.
Is Market Wheaton like a big town then, or is it just?
It's basically like a road.
Is it?
it's
And there's an Asda in it.
There's a big, there was a little Asda. There's a big Tesco. That's the one thing it's known for, Market Wheaton. Just a big
Wow.
Tesco. And the tallest ever person from Britain is from Market Wheaton.
Really?
He's called Tom Quirke.
I was gonna say.
God's
He's called Giant
Full beach.
Bradley.
He's called Giant Bradley.
That's what he's known. I don't know his full name, but Giant Bradley. And there's a day commemorating him. So that's the kind of town it is.
I
Giant Bradley
need to
Day.
look. Giant Bradley. Well, where I went to school, Margaret Thatcher's from there, but we don't talk about that.
Shout out
Oh.
Maggie. No, don't shout out Maggie.
Yeah. R.I.P.
If Billy Stitch was here, shout
Rest
out.
in piss.
Shout
Yeah.
out. William Bradley, the giant.
Yeah.
Jeez. There's even a statue.
There is. There's even a
Oh, he's
Wikipedia
pretty
page.
tall. No one really came from Chesterfield. Like we had Robert Louis Stevenson. He came from Chesterfield.
Didn't Harry
Mm.
Maguire come from
Yeah, he went to,
he went to Joel's old school.
We
didn't
went
he?
to one of our
Maguire.
friends' old secondary school.
Yeah.
Anyone I know? Ooh, no one from.
That's a good thing. It's like, who do you know from school?
What? Who
that's
famous went to
now
your school?
famous. Well, Margaret Thatcher went to my school, so famous.
Oh,
and
but
then
who was there?
You
at
didn't
the
go to school
time?
with her?
yeah. Huh?
You can get school with her.
No, I didn't. It's not a flex.
Yeah. Do you know anyone who went to your school at the time you were there who was like gone into big things for relative fame?
There's a girl called Amy Hunt who is now in the Olympics,
Oh, nice.
doing sprinting. Yeah, and then there's a lad from the boys' school called Joe Fazer who's now a famous like YouTuber. He's like, his fame came from like being this like really stick thin skinny kid, and now he's like built he's built like a brick shit house, and he's got like he's like verified and like got so many followers and stuff. Like he's big time fame. Trying to think of any others.
One in my year who same age as me.
Yeah.
It's called Ben McNamara. He's a rugby league player. Plays for Hull FC.
Really?
Yeah.
His name sounds familiar. I think I must.
His dad's Steve McNamara, who was a former
Oh my
he's
gosh.
a rugby coach and used to play for them. And yeah, he's a big deal.
Jeez,
That's crazy.
I sat next to him in maths.
Did you?
That's
Yeah,
cool.
That's my big
Fame,
claim
to
That's
fame.
We didn't have anyone. We've got a few sort of people who like made a band, like started a band. Like, shout out to the Roofs. They came from school I went to.
Yeah, listen to them the other
So-
night.
Great band.
Yeah.
Someone I know I was very good friends with, Private Reg. He's a massive singer, musician, sort of producer.
I swear I've met him.
I think you might have met him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really nice. Great music. Just an all around great guy. Can't really think of anyone else.
What about Formal Socks? Are they anything in relation to you?
Well, Formal Socks are from the Roofs.
Oh, right.
So the Roofs
Because I was listening to that song
this morning.
all day.
They're so good, aren't they?
Yeah,
It's
they're
this
very good.
fantastic new song by the
Oh,
Formal
wow.
Socks. We'll shout them out because it's
Yeah.
just incredible.
Beach House by Formal
Beach House
Socks.
by Formal Socks.
Summer banger right
It
there.
is an incredible
So
summer
good.
song. And yeah, there was a band called the Roofs. My sister knew all of them, and I sort of went to some of their gigs. And they just make amazing band.
Yeah.
And then I think they went to uni. I don't really know what happened, but I don't know if they've stopped doing the Roofs or they want to carry that on. But then they made a new band called Park Ranger. I think they did Park Ranger. And then they've made a new band called Formal Socks, and they've made a new song with a band called Beach House. It's fantastic.
Oh wow.
Please go
I
and
think you
listen to
played
it. It's
to
amazing.
me,
If
yeah.
you like Easy Life, then you'll like that song.
It's incredible. So yeah.
I thought I was going to sneeze.
Bless you.
I know a person from a band who went to the boys' school but was in the year above. Lewis Taylor from the Madisons.
Okay.
He was also in my product class, but he has now finished. And I didn't realise when, like, you first go to uni and you're, like, chatting to everyone, you're like, oh, so where are you from? And he was like, oh, I'm from Long Bennington, which is near Grantham. And I was like, that's weird. Like, I'm from near Grantham. Not going to disclose, but sorry, Lewis, just shout out where you live. And we were like, that's really weird. Anyway, we got chatting. He was like, yeah, I was in the year above, went to your boys' school. And I was like, oh, I was the year below, went to your girls' school. And we were like, that's crazy. Anyway, and then he's formed this band at uni, and now they play Leadmill stage. So they're like getting they're like getting big. Like they're like coming up trumps. They like do a lot of coming up trumps. That's
I thought you said tramps. I was like, that's a bit mean.
No, they're like performing on different stages, like in Sheffield and stuff. Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool.
That's sick.
I don't know him personally, but I know him through other people at school. Because I had a mate called Charlotte Taylor, and she was like, oh, there's this boy called Lewis Taylor, and we have the same surname. Everyone thinks we're related. Our parents are just busy mates. And we're like, oh, maybe you're long lost siblings.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah.
Small towns.
It's weird how things like that happen, though, isn't it? Like coincidences.
Coinkydink.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, I know you. I know you through this person. Oh, you're from here. Oh, I'm from here too.
Wow, we should be friends.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm really stretchy. I'm really tired as well. Sorry, guys.
We're all a bit loopy today.
Yeah.
For several different reasons.
I'm tired. Tom's
hay fevered.
Tom's got hay fevered. Becky's been bitten by a mosquito and is going to die.
Got superpowers.
Yeah.
I am now mosquito woman.
Let's briefly talk about the mosquito.
I went out the other day with my mate Kath, and we went to Derwent Reservoir. Was good. Went to Wyming Brook River. I don't know. Anyway, came back. My watch was. Ooh, sorry, I just got distracted. My watch was tight on my wrist, and I was like, "This is a bit weird." Like, anyway, didn't think anything of it. Went to bed, woke up. I was like, "Why is my arm in so much pain, and why can't I move it?" And it was like hot. It was like hard as a rock, and I was like, "This isn't good." Anyway, I went to work, was in so much pain at work, had to keep running it under cold water. Luckily we weren't busy, and then my friend Leah was like, right, let's go to the walk-in centre, because it was like spreading. But I'm fine, I'm on antibiotics now, and paracetamol, and many different things.
Lots of different things.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
We've figured out, we've learned
that
there's a new mosquito in the world.
There is.
Which can kill you by touching you once. So we're a bit nervous about Becky because she's been touched once by a mosquito.
That's a new thing to be worried about.
We've got our fingers crossed. So we're going at home, cross your fingers.
Are you crossing your fingers hoping that'll be all right, or?
So what we do every month is we on TallTales we put out a new prompt, a different prompt, sort of maybe a word or a phrase that creators can use to make something new, make a post or an illustration or just something new. For instance, it could be a poem, a song, a bit of art, a design that they can that they make and then they can post, and then so it's just sort of a phrase that helps them, give them inspiration. And this month the prompt is beauty, so very open-ended. So it's basically about what you take. Where do you find beauty in life? Where do you see beauty? So Becky, my question to you is, what do you find beauty in?
I find beauty in going to gigs. Don't laugh at me like that. So yeah, I've been to a couple of gigs recently, and the thing I find like the most interesting and like beautiful about a gig is the joining together of people.
Like the atmosphere.
Like
of people.
everyone is into that person. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that's why they're there. People aren't going to buy a Harry Styles ticket and go, yeah, he's not for me, so I'm going to spend £80.
Yeah, I could see wet leg actually.
Huh?
I could see
Yeah.
wet
I
leg
can see wet
for
leg.
£80.
You know what? I would not create wet leg.
I just like the atmosphere. I just like the architecture of the stadium.
I just like looking at big steel poles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think like an all being together in that one place and enjoying the artist's music, I think is a very beautiful thing. And
Yeah.
especially in the warmer months.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah.
it's especially nice. You don't want to be going to a gig when it's dull and
Cold
wet.
and wet and rainy.
Yeah. But I went and saw Arctic Monkeys recently. They were amazing. And they write so many creative and brilliant songs. And they played a couple off their new album, which some people don't like, some people do like. But my favourite off there is definitely Sculptures of Anything Goes. I haven't stopped listening
That's a
to
good
it
song, good song.
recently.
Yeah.
You could say that's beautiful.
Definitely. Great.
And yeah, no, like went and saw Harry Styles. He's a beautiful man,
He is.
and
Yeah.
he does beautiful. Alex Turner is also a beautiful man.
He is.
And they both write beautiful music. Different, two completely different concerts.
Two different.
Bear in mind, completely opposite
Yeah.
ends of the spectrum. Should have seen what I was wearing for Harry Styles compared to what I was wearing for Alex Turner. Now, went and saw Ed Sheeran last year. He was amazing. He is also a beautiful person.
Very beautiful man.
He writes amazing music, and he is very, very, very talented
Yeah.
in the way that he writes his music. We watched a documentary on him, didn't we?
Oh, it's fantastic.
And it was brilliant. What does he call it? His
Love on tour. No.
His
Loop pedal.
Yeah, his loop pedal.
Oh yeah.
And but every gig is different because he's just doing the music there and then on
Yeah.
his loop pedal, which I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. I never know what to expect from a gig. It could be literally
Music,
anything.
generally.
But him on his loop pedal, like that.
Yeah.
No one. I don't think anyone has ever done music like he has done music.
I think you could definitely say he's like one of the classic people in
Yeah.
classic forms in Britain.
He is second biggest artist on Spotify.
Yeah.
And we're all wondering, who's the first?
Who is the first?
That's a good question.
We're not going to tell you that. We're going to leave it to
To
in
you.
suspense.
For you to research.
Because me and Angus sat there with Leah the other day and we tried to find who the top artist was,
Did
and
you
we
find
like went through so many people. Say again?
Did you find who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll reveal it at the start of next episode
Okay. Leave it in suspense.
Yeah.
in a week's time. Yeah.
Well, you could just Google it, but
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
we were shocked.
Yeah, it's quite shocking.
I'll have a guess off podcast because I think I have a slight idea.
Have a guess.
Was it Bad Bunny?
No.
Okay.
She wasn't
That's
in
your
top 10.
one and only guess.
Taylor?
No.
God.
It's very surprising.
It is. We were
shocked.
surprised. We were shocked.
Give me a genre.
Music.
Yeah, just give what music? what genre of music?
Partial rap.
Partial rap.
Well, not partial isn't a genre, but rap.
Right.
Like he kind of does rap,
Canada's rap.
not Eminem.
He kind of.
Canada's sort of.
Oh well, is it Drake?
No.
No.
It's not for like proper.
Wait,
rap.
I need to double check if
It's more sort of. It's not techno, but sort of maybe, sort of synth, I guess.
Oh, what The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was shocked.
Yeah,
we were
shocked.
shocked.
Yeah, that is about kind of
Like
surprising.
first?
Yeah, first in the world on
I mean,
Spotify.
Blinding Lights, that song, I think it's got 5
Oh.
billion
Yeah,
thousand million
loads.
streams.
I
I think that's the longest running #1 in American history. I think.
Really?
pretty much,
Really?
yeah.
Ever.
I think so.
That's mad to me, because that song just irritates me now.
Well, yeah, now because
Oh, I
you've
love
heard it
that.
every
Oh,
fucking
yeah, that's
day
true.
for 3
I
years.
had it on my
Is
gym
it?
playlist.
It's on your gym playlist.
I had it on my gym
Yeah.
playlist.
It was on my driving playlist when we go to school.
Was
like,
it?
Pre-COVID.
That's funny.
Oh, pre-COVID. Different time.
Pitch black, 7 a.m. in the morning. Just
Oh.
tearing down.
I'm blinded by
Yeah.
the lights. Your touch. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. It's first on Spotify, but we still don't know the lyrics.
We do not know the lyrics. Sorry, the chorus as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So Becky.
Yes, Angus.
I just want to say thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. I'm here every week.
Every week. Just thank you for coming on.
It's all right.
Sorry to everyone at home. It's been a bit sort of
all over the place.
It will be all different next week.
Fingers crossed.
So hopefully, so just thank you for coming on. Thank you for sort of talking about yourself, talking about.
Welcome, girly pops.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, no worries.
For being here every week.
As
thank you so much.
Thanks, Angus, for
Seriously.
being here every week.
You're welcome. Don't worry.
Please don't come back.
Get your drink off the desk.
My drink's not on the desk.
Yeah, why are you doxing her? God.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
She was mean to me.
Gaslighting
True.
me.
You're gonna get kicked out of the studio.
Yeah.
Your drink went on the desk. So I just want to say thank you for coming on, and just thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure, always a pleasure, never a pain. We always enjoyed doing this.
We do.
It's been
Thank you
been
for
no
listening.
exception. Yeah.
If you're still here, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening.
Angus will deposit £1 into your bank account.
I will not be.
Just
Sorry
DM
about
him.
that. Yeah, just DM me and I'll transfer the money. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And this has been the
The
TallTales
TallTales Podcast.
Podcast.